Hi everyone, welcome to Paratronics video lectures. Myself, M. Krishna, working as Assistant Professor in EEE Department, St. Peter's Engineering College. In this video, we are going to see the details of silicon control rectifier, what we call SCR. In this video, the details of SCR and the working of SCR and the characteristics, the two transistor analysis of SCR, finally applications of silicon control rectifiers are going to be discussed. First we'll see the basic details of silicon control rectifier. The silicon control rectifier was developed by General Electric Company and it is named as silicon control rectifier. The name itself suggesting something. The silicon in the sense the device is going to be made up with the silicon material, and the main application of this material is rectification, means converting into AC into DC. That is why it is called rectifier. Because of it is having controlling terminal, the output we are getting from this device is a controlled one. Hence, the name is given like this, silicon control rectifier. Generally, it was solid state equivalent of thyratron, and hence it is also referred as a thyristor. We'll see the details. Basically, SCR is a 3-terminal, 4-layer semiconductor device, and which consisting of alternate layers of p-type and n-type material. We can able to see the structure of silicon control rectifier. Hence it is 3 p-n junction, J1, J2 and J3. In the figure we can able to see the 3 junctions, PN layer and 3 terminals. The 3 terminals are anode, cathode and gate. We can able to see the symbol of SCR also. The second diagram indicating the symbol of SCR, and as I said earlier, the SCR is made up of silicon material, and we can able to show this one in the form of interconnected transistors. We will discuss this two transistor analogy at the end of this video. Then we'll see the working of SCR. With this working, we can able to draw the characteristics of SCR. So in the characteristics, there are 3 modes of operation available. One is reverse blocking mode of operation. The second one is forward blocking mode of operation. And the third one is forward conduction mode of operation. So based on the connections that we are giving to the semiconductor device, SCR will decide the operation of the SCR. First we'll see reverse blocking mode of SCR. In this mode of SCR, we are going to see the connection of this. So p-type material means the majority carriers of the p-type material are holes. Majority carriers of n-type material are electrons. So p-type material having the holes and holes having the positive charge, n-type material having the electrons and having the negative charge. So based on this concept, we are going to discussing the reverse blocking mode of SCR. So see this is the battery. The battery terminals plus minus, and this minus is connected to anode, and battery positive terminal is connected to cathode. If the connection is giving like this to the SCR, you can say that the connection is given reverse manner. Okay, in this condition what happened? So these holes are having the positive charge and the battery having the negative terminal. So this negative charge is going to be attracting the positive charge. Then immediately the holes are trying to move out from the material p type. And here also same thing happening. Attraction force takes place between the positive terminal, positive charge, and electrons having the negative charge. Thereby electrons are trying to move out from this. Due to this, what happened? J1, J3 junctions are in reverse biased manner and J2 junction is in forward biased manner. Hence, there is no breaking of this J1 junction and J3 junction, and the J1 junction, J3 junctions are going to be increasing the depletion layer between the P material and N material. Here also P material, N material is going to be increasing. Hence, no current flowing through the device. And we can say in P-type material and N-type materials, the minority carriers are also presented. In the P-type material, minority carriers are electrons. In N-type materials, minority carriers are holes. And due to that minority carriers, very few amount of current is flowing through the material, and we are calling that material we are going to calling that current is saturation current or the current flowing through the minority carriers. So we can able to see this operation when we connecting the terminals in reverse manner to the SCR, and we can able to draw the characteristics. We'll see the forward blocking mode of operation. In the forward blocking mode of operation, the battery connections are unlike the reverse blocking mode of SCR. Now we are interchanging the battery connections to the SCR. Here positive of the battery is connected to the P type, negative of the battery is connected to the cathode, means N type. Due to this is positive charge and the P material is also having the positive charge trying to repulse each other. Thereby holes are trying to move inside the material. Similarly, this is a negative charge and the N material is also having the negative charge. Hence, there exists a repulsive force here. Thereby, the electrons are trying to moving inside the material, and this J1 junction is going to be breakdown and J3 junction is also going to be breakdown due to the forward conduction mode. Means hammering takes place between the P material and N material, and here also P material and N material, and thereby J1 junction, J3 junction are going to be forward biased by the connection of the battery, and J2 junction is going to be reverse biased. The only depletion layer in this mode of operation is J2 junction. Because of this J2 junction is reverse biased condition, the current is unable to flow through the device from anode to cathode like this. So we can able to draw these characteristics of SCR. separately. We are going to discuss them after this. So this mode of operation is called forward blocking mode of operation because no current is flowing through the device. We'll see the last mode of operation. See this one. We'll discuss about the characteristics later on. So far we discussed the forward blocking mode of operation. Then what we are doing here is, so we are giving the battery terminals like this, as same as in forward blocking mode SCR, and we are going to connecting one more voltage to the gate and cathode terminals, and here we are going to increasing the voltage applying across the anode and cathode. This is a variable. When we use the variable DC supply here, we can increase the DC supply across the anode and cathode. Thereby J2 junction breaks down and allows the current to flow. This is one of the method to make the SCR into conduction state from its blocking mode of operation. The other method is just we are keeping applying few amount of voltage across the anode and cathode, and alternatively we are going to apply the voltage across gate and cathode. Hence the J2 junction is going to be breaks down based on the voltage applying across the gate and cathode. After that, the current flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal like this, having a path. And here we have to know two things, that latching current, holding current. Latching current of the device, holding current of the device. These two currents are related to the anode current, the current which is flowing between anode terminal, cathode terminal. If the anode current is more than the holding current, then only the SCR comes into conduction state. And the latching current means the latching current is ahead of the holding current, and it is equal to the 1.5 times the holding current. To maintain the SCR in conduction state, even though the gate terminal is removed, that is called latching current. Means latching current is defined as the minimum amount of current required by the SCR to maintain the SCR in its conduction state even after removing the gate terminal. Holding current means it is also associated with the conduction state, but it is the amount of minimum current which is required by the SCR to keep the SCR into conduction state. Okay, we'll see how to draw the characteristics of SCR. Yes. So these are the SCR characteristics. Y-axis current, anode current, x-axis anode voltage. So this is the forward blocking mode. When we are applying battery terminals, positive to P material, N anode terminal, negative to cathode terminal, N material. J1 and J3 junctions are forward biased, but J2 junction is in reverse bias. Hence, it does not allow the current to flow, even though you are applying the voltage across device. That's what we can able to draw the forward blocking mode of SCR characteristics. So when we see the reverse characteristics, means we are connecting a battery in reverse manner, negative to anode, positive to cathode. Thereby J1, J3 junctions are going to be in reverse biased, whereas J2 junction is in forward biased. J1, J3 junctions depression layers are increasing, hence no current allowed to flow through the device. Even we are applying more negative voltage. After some break reverse voltage, then there existing avalanche breakdown, means temperature across the devices, temperature across the junctions are going to be increasing more and more, thereby the junctions are break down, which leads to allow the current flow in reverse direction. But this condition is a very dangerous condition, thereby we don't go for the behind some voltage values. Just for theoretical purpose we can discuss about that values, but we couldn't go for the voltage some called reverse breakdown voltages. Avalanche breakdown takes place after that reverse breakdown voltage in reverse direction, hence huge amount of current is allowed to flow through the device. When we see the last mode of operation, once the voltage across device is forward biased and the keep on we are increasing the voltage, but after some forward breakover voltage the junction J2 is going to be breakdown, hence it allows the current to flow like this. It allows the current to flow. This pink line indicating the current is increasing at a time. But here is one more advantage, because of this SCR having the controlling terminal, so we can able to apply the one more voltage across the gate and cathode, thereby we can we do not increase the voltage across anode and cathode, forward voltage. So just we are going to keep this voltage at some lower values, and to break down the J2 junction, and we are applying the voltage across gate and cathode. It is in forward condition mode, hence J2 junction is going to be breakdown as early as possible. Suppose if you are applying more voltage across gate and cathode, it comes into conduction mode very fast like this. Before going to this point, the breakover voltages, forward breakover voltages will appear at this voltage levels only, at this voltage based on the voltage applying across the gate. Immediately it's comes into conduction state. As I said, two important definitions are there here. Two important definitions. One is holding current, the other one is latching current. Here is we can able to see this latching current is defined as the minimum current required to maintain the SCR in conducting state even after the gate pulse is removed. Holding current means, let us see that holding current is defined as the minimum current to maintain the SCR in its conducting mode. These two are very important values to be discussed regarding to anode current. Means if suppose the anode current bring back the means behind the values of holding current, the SCR comes to forward blocking mode of operation from the its conduction state. So it is very important to keep the anode current values above the holding current. Suppose after that you are going to remove the gate pulse, then we have to maintain the anode current values more than the latching current values. So lastly we are going to discuss the two transistor analogy, where we can able to see the two transistor analogy. Look at this diagram. This diagram indicates this is transistor 1 and transistor 2, Q1 Q2. So this is anode terminal, this is cathode terminal, and this is gate terminal. So the voltage Forward voltage is applying across the anode and cathode, and one more voltage applying across the gate and cathode. This is one voltage, this is another voltage. When we apply like this, when gate signal is applying to this is going to be, means base of the Q2 is going to be on, it allows the current to flow. This is collector terminal of the Q2, it is connected to the base of the Q1. Then it's going to be forward biased. Then immediately it allows the current to flow through the collector terminal. Like this, it's a cumulative process takes place. Like this operation is going on. If it is keep on going on, what will happen? See this? Here, very important thing that if it is going to be happening, it will damage the device. Hence, we have to stop this process. For that purpose, we have some commutation techniques. We will discuss that commutation techniques in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. And before completing this video, we will see the applications of SCR. The few applications that I am mentioning here, the power switching circuits for both AC and DC, zero voltage switching circuits, over voltage protection circuits, control rectifiers, inverters, AC power control, pulse circuits, battery charging regulator, latching relays, computer logic circuits, remote switching units, and welding machine control, temperature control system. These are the major applications where the SCR is using. Thank you very much for watching this video.